The Storm Between Us by Vosotros, narrated by Renzi. Chapter 5. Michael. Are you really sure about this? It was the fifth time Henry asked me that question. Being the owner of the pawn shop where I was getting some of my items to sell, he couldn't believe it when I said that his camera and his cell phone would be my last deals. Don't worry, it's not for good. I gave him a small smile. It's just that I'm going to rest for a while. I see, he nodded. Anyway, for the last 6 months, you brought me profit more than others had done in a year. I guess you got burned out. You, kiddo, were pushing yourself too hard. I think so, I murmured, even though I knew that burning out was not the real reason I was pausing from trading. I didn't know how it happened, but the last few sales that I made didn't really strike a chord with me as I expected them to. So, just hit me when you decided to come back. I'll be more than happy to take you in, Henry remarked before I took my leave. I just smiled at him. I went out of his pawnshop and rode a jeepney. I couldn't help but follow Henry's place with my gaze as I sped on the highway. After 15 minutes on the road, I arrived at my uncle's place. It was already past 5 in the afternoon. I went in and saw Nathan doing some last minute packing in the living room. Tonight was his flight to Singapore to attend a 2-day symposium and join a quiz contest which no one in the history of our school had ever won. I tried to ignore him when I entered the house, but even before I reached the stairs, Nathan didn't think twice to call me out. I heard you missed the subject today, he said, fitting his clothes in his luggage. What? You're monitoring me now? I asked, surprised that he knew. I never thought that you would be this shameless, Mike. You couldn't even make an effort to attend your class. I crossed my arms. Come on, it's just my first time being absent. I'm not going to fail just because I missed one class. Nathan just shrugged. Okay, fine. I just hope that you won't miss any of your class again because it's hard to catch up once you get left behind. At that, he returned to packing his bag. I walked up the stairs and went to my room. I lay down on my bed thinking, how come Nathan knew that I missed my class today? Well, he could have asked one of my classmates. It was not that hard anyway, since Nathan was pretty popular at the university. Then, I looked at my Nokia 3210 and saw that I had a message from Jake. Hey Michael, we have a quiz next meeting. I photocopied my notes. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Get well soon. I couldn't help but smile as I typed my reply. Jake was indeed a reliable friend, and he was the nicest person among all my classmates. That was why I warned him never to talk to my brother, because he was too pure to be exposed to a schemer like Nathan. Thanks, see you, I replied. After about an hour, I heard that my uncle had arrived at the same time that Nathan was leaving the house. I wasn't able to go down to see him off as I was still finishing an assignment for tomorrow. I was in the middle of doing an essay when my phone lit up and vibrated on top of my table. I looked at the screen and a cloud overshadowed me when I saw who was calling. Mom. How long do you think you can hide it from me? Mom's voice bellowed even before I could say hello. Mom, what are you talking about? I asked as I had no idea what was going on. However, it seemed that my question didn't sit well with her. Don't you deny it from me, Michael. How long have you been lying to me? Every time I called you, you would say that your studies are getting better. And yet, all this time, you were failing your quizzes. Upon hearing the last word, I flinched in my seat. How come Mom knew about my quizzes? I tried to ask, but she cut me off. My gosh, Michael, do you even know how much money I am paying just so you can study in a good university? You're wasting so much opportunity. Why can't you be just like your brother? Look at Nathan. He's studying very hard. And the litany went on. I sighed. Mom could go on and on about how hopeless of a child I was. But I couldn't care anymore since I grew up practically hearing all those questions. Why I am not as intelligent as Nathan? Why am I not as kind? Can I be like my brother, even just for once? To the point that even I myself would pray that my grades would be as high as Nathan's. But in time, I got tired of those demands. Michael, are you even listening to me? Yeah, I'm still here, I confirmed as I adjusted myself on the seat. Do you even care about your studies? Aren't you ashamed? She asked. If you're not, then I am. Do you know how much I had to put up with your uncle when you flanked your subject last semester? Ugh, the nerve of them to imply that our family's dumb and worthless. I closed my eyes. If there was anything that could make my mom much angrier, that would be the comments of Dad's rich brothers who had always belittled our family. Are you getting my point, Michael? Don't you dare lie to me again. Do you understand me? And don't miss your classes. It's hard to catch up once you get left behind. Upon the fall of the last sentence, my eyes snapped open. Those words rang a bell inside my head. I couldn't be mistaken. Those were Nathan's exact words when I talked to him earlier. My heart began racing. Mom, was it Nathan who told you about my quizzes? He asked, trembling. So what if Nathan told me about your quizzes? You know what? You should be thankful for your brother. He's looking after you. Thankful? I stood up from my seat as I suddenly felt heat crawling down my neck. I didn't know how Nathan knew about my quizzes, but to report it to Mom without consulting me was a whole new different matter. Why would he do that to me? Unless he really wanted me to be in deep trouble. Why should I be thankful to him? I exclaimed. Should I be thankful that he's invading my privacy? However, I forgot that no matter what I did, Mom would always side with Nathan. And why are you mad at your brother? Isn't this your fault? If you only listened to me a long, long time ago about stopping that useless trading, then you wouldn't have failed your subjects. Tell me, Michael, was it Nathan's fault? And besides, what's so hard about passing your quizzes? Is it because of your teachers? Is it because of your classmates? Tell me. I clenched my fist. It's me. I'm the problem. Are you happy now? I blurted out. How dare you raise your voice at me? She growled. And that was when I realized that I yelled at Mom. You ingrate! You don't want to study anymore? Then fine. At least I won't have to burn cash. I didn't even know why I'm still hoping that you would change. If I had known that you would turn out like this, then I shouldn't have brought you into this world. My knees wobbled as I took out every word she said. Even though I was so used to being pushed aside by Mom, I never thought that she would wish for something like that. Are you disowning me? My voice cracked as I tried to dispel the fluid filling my throat. Then there was silence. She hung up. Everything went silent after that. Even my mind was completely lost and blank. I put my phone down. I was just staring at the empty space in front of me when I felt something on my cheek. I touched my face, and there were tears streaming down on it. I don't belong here. The words kept repeating in my head. I should have known it sooner. I stood up and got my bag. I put some clothes inside. I need to go somewhere. Somewhere I knew I was welcome. That's it for chapter 5. Thank you all for listening. Shout out to AJ Savior. Comment, like, and subscribe to get more videos like this, and see you again on our next video.